free.
we're
It's
in a
just more.
society that actually hyper focuses is
Yeah.
on younger women in it,
Yeah.
in terms of being
Exactly.
attractive. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not necessarily you get more attention or not. It's just that you're in a time where at age it's like, and then
Yeah.
as you get older and older, you're told that you're not as attractive,
Yeah, you're just
essentially.
like, yeah, your has been like, go sit on the shelf, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? You might still want to rave, you might still want to do things, you might just not feel that way, but society is like, what are you talking about? Like, go sit down.
So those, in fact, in the those are the healthier forms of relationships. Actually, ironically, that does do the exploration of the play and all them kind of things, their play parties and having those type of conversations with each other. We're not like, we are a monogamous couple, just to be clear. So, but we have conversations with each other, and we want couples who are also in monogamous relationships or whatever relationship you're in, to be honest, to have that conversation with your partner, because actually the healthier form of relationships will do what Stella's just said. They will explore, they will have these conversations with each other, and they'll do whatnot so that they can keep the novel alive in their relationship and keep their relationship going strong. But I would say a lot more don't have these conversations at all. And this is where cheating comes in. This is where people do things, do deceptive things. People will have whole families and then do things outside of that family because they're not having these conversations. You'll find that a lot of desires or fantasies lose their energy and their steam. They lose it once that conversation is had. If you're a man and you're really like, you have your needs met, or if you're a woman and you need to have your needs met, and it's not currently happening in your marriage or your long-term relationship for various different factors, by having a conversation, you'll be surprised, actually, if you're both mature and having emotionally mature, you'd be surprised how much healing can happen from having that conversation, and how that can avert a lot worse outcome by not having that conversation, by fueling the fantasy, if you like, and then and when it becomes shifts from fantasy to actual like cheating. And a part of what we're doing with our art form in terms of enlightening and focusing on the sacred energy exchange is that we want to prevent people from doing those type of stuff. We want people to be able to avert ripping up their family through actions that they could have avoided just by understanding each other and communicating and having those tough conversations. Is much better than to do what this society encourages. And what we were discussing before we came on air, we came on here, is the esoteric nature of this. So if you listen to a whole lot of music, hip hop, I love hip hop, but listen to hip hop, and you go on Netflix, you go on these streaming platforms, the films, the series and stuff, the spontaneous desire is really hyper focused on, and the cheating is really pushed. It's really like as the hot thing, even to the extent whereby there's marriages and then the affair would happen with the ex. So the only time you can have something with anybody long term is when you split up with them, like and you're with somebody else. That's the kind of energy that they put out there. And in our discussion, I was saying that basically sex is incredibly powerful, more powerful than we can even be aware of, that we're even aware of, really and truly. And if you think of it from this point of view, we exist because of it. There's the life force energy. That is extreme power in and of itself. So there's entities out there that don't want the harmonious energy of life bringing in the world. They are seeking for the world to be in a low vibration. So what better way than to perverse the nature of sex and for it to be used as a means of, yes, bringing life, release, and actually in some ways a weapon against each other and a weapon against humanity. what I was saying to Stella is that if you think of responsive desire as a natural shift from spontaneous desire, so spontaneous desire when you're in that primal element, the first beginnings of your relationship, you're in the honeymoon phase, and you just like your bodies are fusing and just need to be one with each other, and it's the energy is fire, it's animalistic. When you shift from that to responsive desire, and it means that you have to take time, then it becomes more like a ritual, becomes more like a something sacred, something actually attuned to what we're talking about, sacred energy exchange. You have to take time to practice in this sacred energy exchange. And in doing that, and it becoming more intentional rather than something that is spontaneous or impulsive, then you're able to actually evoke the true power of it. So, as well as bringing in life, you can also utilize sacred energy exchange to manifest. So, if you utilize it right, you can catalyze, you can whatever you want in whatever desire that you want, whatever non-sexual desire that you want, be it you want to the type of house you want to live in, the lifestyle you want to have, the amount of money you want to have, whatever it may be, even healing. I want to heal this. You can do it through the practice of intentional sacred energy exchange. And what my thought process is that once there's a critical mass of understanding of this, practicing in that fashion from the point of view of love, then there's a harmonious energy frequency that is put out there. So when you have pulled out the higher self in this way, when the portal of life is open and you've pulled out the higher selves and you're both connecting, your higher selves are both connecting, you are emitting a frequency, a light. As light beings, you are emitting a frequency at its highest level. And once there's a critical mass of people doing that, the world is then becoming more harmonious. You can wake up in peace, or the people in the world will be waking up in peace through just the act of making love, essentially. The more in responsive desire in that mode, the more you actually intentionally explore it, yeah, the more powerful that you as an individual, you as a couple, and um, the good of this world can be.
Yeah, I think that's a great note to end it on, because we don't want it. Yeah, we're gonna be talking more and more as the show is about to come up on the 20th of February, our InYou&Oh, where we'll be starting out our event with some poetry workshops. So we'll be exploring wordplay in the realms of erotica, poetry, and we'll get to, share some of our lyrics, not on the mic, don't worry, we're not going to force everyone to do that, but we'll just be creating a live work there while we're there. And as we said earlier, there'll be so many features to the event that it's a no-brainer that you must get your tickets today for the InYou&Oh show on the 20th of February. But yes, we have been so blessed to be able to talk to you today about spontaneous and responsive desire, the factors of how couples sync up, and what leads to them making love, and how long basically the length of time it takes to warm up one of your partners, because it could happen with the man as well, where they're more spontaneous, less spontaneous and more responsive, depending on state of mind and where people are at.
Oh, diet. That was the last thing. It came from my head. I didn't even say it. What you eat as well. And there's a lot of Instagram that does show that actually what you eat can also really make a difference.
Definitely. There's definitely stimulants and aphrodisiac and things that you can take for that purpose.
Aphrodisiac, but also like healthy stuff, like things that is just really good for your body. Yeah, like if you.
So why should people come to our event?
Well, we said it all, really. You said it. They're going to have the poetry. They're going to have the poetry workshop. You're going to be able to write love notes to yourself, to each other. You can learn that art form, which cocktails, mocktails, and canapes is what you will get in addition to a magnificent show of InYou&Oh.
Luxury goodie bags as well, filled with proper delights from our key sponsors who will be announcing on Monday. And us two performing our exclusive performance as well on the day. So get your tickets now.